Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to tell you step by step how to use a hyaluronic acid serum. I have tons of videos talking about hyaluronic acid and hyaluronic acid serums, and I've kind of shown myself using it in numerous skincare routine videos, but I've gotten a lot of requests from you guys to do a video just kind of showing how to use hyaluronic acid serums for people who are interested in incorporating them. Hyaluronic acid, if you're not familiar, is a humectant, meaning it holds onto water. And you will find it in many moisturizers already. Ideally, moisturizers should contain a humectant, an emollient, and an occlusive. The humectant helps hold onto water, the emollient helps soften skin cells, and the occlusive helps seal everything in and reduce transepidermal water loss. However, skincare companies can't stop there. They have to come out with more products. So they have a variety of serums that are largely the humectant component of moisturizers. Hyaluronic acid is not the only humectant out there. There are a variety of others: peptides, urea, marine extracts, snail filtrate. It goes on and on. But if you have a serum that's humectants, like I've mentioned, it likely could be used in the way I'm going to describe today. Hyaluronic acid, because it's humectant, it should be applied to your skin while it's still damp. So the way to use a hyaluronic acid serum is first make sure that you have cleansed your skin. This ideally will happen, say for example, in the evening. Take off all of your makeup, sunscreen, mascara, remove dirt, oil, and sebum. For me personally, I do a double cleanse. I start with an oil-based cleansing balm or cleansing oil. I lather it to my face and around my eyes and my eyelashes to start to break up the mascara, the sunscreen, my own oils, pollutants that have settled on my face, pollens, aeroallergens, etc. And then I hop into the shower and I rinse it off, and while rinsing it off, I also lather to my face a non-soap gentle cleanser, and this helps to remove all of that very efficiently. The polyethylene glycol components of the cleansing oil or cleansing balm that I started with marry with the water and marry with the second cleanser, and everything just efficiently and smoothly comes off, and doing it this way minimizes disruption to the skin barrier that can happen with cleansing. Then when I step out of the shower while my skin is still damp, this is when you want to immediately apply your hyaluronic acid serum to your face. You don't need a ton, just a small amount, enough that you can feel a thin film to all surfaces that you're interested in using the product. So go ahead and apply it. You can apply it to your entire face or just to targeted areas. And really what this is going to achieve is going to deliver some more focused hydration that can improve the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, overall skin texture, smoothness, just by delivering a little bit of focused, increased water binding. Definitely can do that. So you might just be interested in improving hydration around your eyes and not to the rest of your face. You want to keep that serum and not run out of it as fast. So long as you're using it within the expiration date, that is prudent. But yeah, you might just want to use it to focused areas. Maybe you just want to improve some fine lines on your neck, for example. Just use it where you want to, and you can use it to your entire face. You don't need a big glob, just enough that you feel a thin film on there. Less is always more. And after you do that, then immediately come on with a moisturizer that has occlusive ingredients in it so that it will seal that water in. Next step is really important, and that is to apply a moisturizer that has occlusive ingredients in it. What do I mean by occlusive ingredients? These are things that are going to seal in transepidermal water loss. For people with more oily prone skin, the best occlusives to pursue are silicones. I have a video on silicones because I know people get freaked out about them. They are fine and they are really good for people with oily prone skin. As a matter of fact, there was a recent review of moisturizers for people with oily, acne-prone skin. And the best ingredients are things like hyaluronic acid, which I'm talking about here, and silicones. People with oily skin really get along well with these. The silicones are synthetic oils that have a nice lightweight feel that kind of create a smoothness to the skin. They pair really well over a hyaluronic acid serum. And a lot of moisturizers with silicone will also have hyaluronic acid in them. So, you're kind of getting getting an extra boost of hydration there by having that serum underneath. But if your skin is particularly dry, you will want to choose a occlusive ingredient like shea butter or petrolatum or mineral oil. These are all wonderful choices as well. So I'm going to list down below some moisturizers, and I'll separate them between dry skin and oily skin. And they're all fine for acne prone skin, and they're all fine for sensitive skin, and they're all fine for rosacea prone skin. So that is how to do it. And for me, I just do this in the evening time. I only wash my face once a day. So that is when I do it. Yeah, if you're not like me and you like to wash your face twice a day, and you wake up in the morning and want to wash your face, you're wondering if you should do this again, go ahead. It definitely can help and keep your skin hydrated throughout the day, so long as you pair it with a moisturizer on top. Here's where things get tricky though. Should you use a sunscreen on top as your top coat moisturizer if you're doing this in the morning? It gets tricky because many sunscreens are going to create a film. They're wonderful moisturizers, but a lot of them are going to be water resistant, so they're not going to go over particularly well on top of that hyaluronic acid serum. It's something you might have to kind of play around with, and you might find that the sunscreens, if you try and apply them, they start clumping up and it just doesn't go on particularly well depending on how it's formulated. So if you find that your sunscreen goes over well on top of the hyaluronic acid serum smoothly, no issue, then what I then recommend you do is to allow it to dry fully and then make sure you put on another full layer. And you might ask, like, why? What's the point of that? Well, there is some concern that when you apply sunscreens to products, particularly damp skin, that they don't set up fully and you may be missing out on a little bit of sun protection. So the idea is to first apply that sunscreen, if you can, if it'll go over that hyaluronic acid serum, first apply it as an occlusive moisturizer at that point, not as a sunscreen. Just apply it and then apply another layer once it dries as your sunscreen layer. This is nice because you're only using one product instead of two in the morning. You're using just your sunscreen. You're not using a moisturizer and then a sunscreen. So it minimizes issues around that. So that's how I recommend doing it in the morning if you are an AM face washer. What if you're like me though, and you don't wash your face in the morning? Do you still need to use this again, or would you benefit from using it again? Putting it on dry skin is not going to be useful. It might hold a little bit of water. It might help boost up your moisturizer or sunscreen, but it's really unlikely to deliver much. It really functions best when applied to the skin while it's damp. So if you don't wash your face in the morning, then should you just get your face wet so that the hyaluronic acid serum will work better so that you have an excuse to use it twice? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I don't really recommend worrying about that. If you're a once a day face washer like me, then just use it once a day when you wash your face and it'll last longer. But importantly, make sure that you use it within the expiration date. Don't keep expired products around. And the reason for that with hyaluronic acid serums is that a lot of them have water in them. So you definitely want to make sure that you follow along with the recommended expiration date so that you're not keeping water-based products longer than that, because the preservatives in them, they kind of have a shelf life, and water-based products are susceptible to contamination, like with molds and things like that. So just make sure that you use it within the expiration date. I have a video all about expiration dates, but as a reminder, if you look on the bottle or the box, there will be a little jar, open jar figure with a number and the letter M. The number is how many months after opening that the product is stable for. And I think it's a good idea, as a side note, to keep a little calendar of your skincare products in terms of when you open them, and then the day that you open them, flag moving forward, flag in the calendar when you need to get rid of them. So that kind of keeps you on track and you're not just hoarding open stuff that can be contaminated and subsequently cause issues for you and your skin. So just make sure you use it within the expiration date. Another question that I get a fair amount, and I understand why, is about the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream, fragrance-free, that I use as a hyaluronic acid serum, we'll say. And you've seen me use in my skincare routines. Many of you point out, hey, why can't you just use that as a moisturizer? It has dimethicone in it, which is occlusive. And you guys, you technically can. It's not a serum. It's not something that really is marketed or formulated with the intention of being layered under something. It's just meant to be a moisturizer that's used by itself, and it's marketed towards people with oily skin. It's got that dimethicone in it, it's oil free. But in my experience using that product, maybe it's just me, I find that when I use it as a standalone moisturizer, it just doesn't perform well. It leaves kind of a filminess, a dry, filmy feeling to the skin. However, if I just use a tiny amount of it to spot focused areas underneath the moisturizer, boom, I really get a nice enhancement and hydration in the skin. I really see nice results. So I personally, in my experience using it, find that it works well that way. But many people, many viewers comment that they use it as their standalone moisturizer. They love it. It works really well for them. So it may be a skin type specific outcome that, you know, is not going to be predictable. So that's what I can tell you about that. It's just my personal anecdotal experience using it. It's not a hard and fast rule with that product. But that's what I can tell you about how to use a hyaluronic acid serum. I hope this video was helpful to you guys who are requesting it and who are looking for some more information on how to use these products. I know it can be very confusing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.